connecting you to our community, 11 Connects.
Welcome to 11 Connects. I'm your host, Jen Lennon. Today I'm joined by Jennifer Farnes. She is a master fester and graduate gemologist and owner of Revolution Jewelry Works. Welcome back, Jennifer.
Thank you.
I love saying all those titles. It's so cool, all the things that you know about stones and gems. It's fascinating. But today I want to talk about upkeep and maintenance. You know, we go in for oil changes, we change our filters in our furnace, but most people, I assume, forget maintenance on their jewelry.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
And
so what do we need to know? How often? What can happen? Give us the details.
we really encourage people to have an inspection done every time you change your clocks. That way, if something's coming loose, you can catch it before it goes missing. And if you go and you have an inspection done and nothing's wrong, well, then you just get your jewelry cleaned and polished and everything's great. But if you go in and you do have something loose, every day that you're wearing an item of jewelry that has a loose stone, those stones act like little saw blades, and with a little bit of vibration and wear over time, they will actually cut through your prongs like saw blades, because gems are so much harder than the metals that they're set in.
So it's not really so much of the scratching of the gem itself, it's the gem that's going to break off.
Yes, yeah. It will cut away and shear away prongs.
And then you look down and suddenly you have no stone.
Exactly. And we've had a lot of people come in and say, well, I've never had a problem with my jewelry. I've been wearing it for 20 years. Think about driving a car for 20 years and not doing any maintenance on it. Something is going to give eventually. And that's why inspections are so important. And there's a lot of things that you can look for too. I mean, if you find that you've been wearing this ring all the time and suddenly it's starting to catch and snag when it never did before, that's a really big indicator that you have a lifted prong.
I have a ring that does that, that catches on, and I find little pieces of fuzz.
Yeah.
That's a big indicator. I need to get that looked at.
Yes, absolutely. And other things too is, especially if you wear your jewelry to bed at night, just turning as you sleep, you do a lot of extra wear and tear to your jewelry that you're not even aware of.
So this is obviously maintenance you've done on a ring, and it makes it look so much better too. Tell me about this picture.
So the picture on the left is before, and the garnets were gems that were mined by our client's grandfather, and the prongs had just worn down to being paper thin, but also the garnets had a lot of damage. So we were able to do all of the repair work on site in our studio. So I did the refaceting of the gems, so she was able to keep the original gemstones, just clean them up. And then we did a full retipping on all of the prongs. So where there was once just a paper thin like sliver of metal, now there's actual
way more secure.
Yeah,
I can see that on the sides. And the gem, instead of looking cloudy, looks beautiful and clear again.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And this looks like an engagement ring or a cocktail ring of some sort?
Anniversary ring. And this is an example of a ring that was about 25 years old, and she had never had any work done to it.
Ever in 25 years?
In 25 years.
Wow.
And so when you look at the picture on the left, you can see how, I mean, everything is just worn very, very flat. But not only that, the metal has lost its luster. And we can do, like, even if there was nothing wrong with the prongs, we can do a buff, polish, and clean. That's always a free service at our studio, just to restore the luster of the metal.
Right. And this goes not only for rings, but for pendants, earrings, particularly if they've got gemstones in them.
Yes, and things that you wear very regularly should be inspected regularly. And it's, like I say, it's always free to just bring in your jewelry, have us do a cleaning and inspection. And if you only have a few pieces that you wear every now and then, just bring it all in with the pieces that you wear regularly.
Got it.
Just get it all done at once.
And if you do it when the clocks change, that'll remind you.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
And remind us where you're located just so we can find you.
We are off of Stetson Hills and Powers, just north of the big Firestone tires. And you can also find us online at Revolution Jewelry Works.
Fantastic. Well, let's maintain that jewelry so we don't end up losing it.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for the tips, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me. I'm your host, Jen Lennon, keeping you connected.